Welcome. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at this TROND surge protector with USB charger. So this was provided to me by the distributor, but they're not compensating me for this video and they're not reviewing it before I post it. If you find this video helpful and you want to purchase one of these, I'll put a link to it in the description on Amazon, and if you use that link it helps me out a little bit and doesn't cost anything extra. So this has 10 wide AC outlets, 4 USB charging ports, 3 are USB-A and 1 is USB Type-C. This has 4,000 Joule surge protection. We can look on the bottom, we have some specs. So the rated power on this is 18,075 watts or 125 volts at 15 amps. Here we can see the USB port output. So USB-A is 2.4 max, USB-C is 3 amp max. The total output is 17 watts or 3.4 amps max. So these aren't super high output USB, but if you don't need fast charging, I think these will work well. So let's get this open. So here we have the manual. So here we have the different parts of it. And it does have a note here. It says PD quick charging is not supported. And we have those specs again. Talks about the features. And here's a Q&A. Here we have a screw guide, screws, and the surge protector itself. So pull this off. So the cord on this is 5 foot long. It has a flat plug that comes off at 45 degrees. So this is nice. So if you put this up against a wall and you have, say, a dresser or a bed or something up against it, you don't have to leave the furniture out from the wall to have clearance because this is super narrow. So that's around a ½ inch from the wall. So this has a switch on the side. So it says off and reset. So if this trips, you can reset it by turning it back on. And here we have the outlets. So a nice feature of this is that the outlets are different directions. So if you have different power bricks that go a certain direction, this will give clearance for those. We have the USB ports in the end here. Let's go to the bottom. We have these foam rubber feet and we have some keyhole slots for mounting. So it looks like you can mount it in this orientation, in this orientation, and in this orientation. Let me get this a little wider here. In this orientation with the cord down. You can't mount it with the cord up using these slots. But a nice feature of this is it has these little ear tabs here. So that makes it super easy for mounting, and of course with those you can mount it in any orientation. You can mount it diagonal if you wanted even. So little tabs like that I think are the easiest mounting option. You can just put it up against the surface. You could level if you wanted to. Just take a pencil or something and mark the spots and drill holes, or you could just put the screws directly in. And then we have some indicator lights here. So let's get this plugged in and we'll test it out. First I'll plug in an iPhone, so I'll plug in with the USB port here. And now that's charging. So a common place you might have these is behind a TV console. So if you have something like a Fire TV stick, you could potentially power it off those USB ports. Now there is limited power on those, so if you're charging lots of devices and plugging in a Fire TV, that may not work well. But if you're plugging in single USB devices, it should be able to handle that. Let's get some other plugs. Here we have a power adapter for a small computer. So this could go in here. Now if you plug it in here, that's going to block this one here. You could plug it on that side, or since these are the other orientation, you can plug those in here. So that would be the most ideal. This is a USB power adapter. Same thing here. We could plug it in here and it would block. We could plug it in the end and it wouldn't, but we can plug those in here. And here's a MacBook power adapter. That could go in here. Here's a little light. We can plug that in. Here's another computer power adapter. And a Raspberry Pi adapter. So I have a lot of this orientation. I don't have as many of these. Of course you could plug in these traditional power cords. This is for a monitor. Will fit in these also. But as I showed earlier, I have 5 of these, but you can also potentially put one on this end and one on that end pointing out. The same way if you have a lot of these, you could potentially put one of these on either end pointing out. So I like that it has both options because most people are going to have a mix of adapters like I have here. It can be a pain with power adapters that only have one orientation and you fill up all your slots and you can't plug something in. For instance, if they were all in this orientation here, I would be able to plug very few of these devices in. So that's the TROND surge protector with USB charger. So a surge protector like this would be great behind a TV console, great under a desk, in a bedroom. Now this supports that 1875 watts max. That should be plenty for most consumer electronics. This isn't really made to plug 10 vacuum cleaners into. That will not handle that load. But a lot of these devices, computers and things, are very low wattage, so it's no problem filling up all these. And I don't have all of these devices on, but right now I'm drawing like 20 watts. But even with these on, it'd probably only be a few hundred watts. So that's all I'm going to cover in this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.